Diane Downs, the truly psychopathic killer that shot 3 of her kids. Unfortunately, history can point to many cases of women killing their children, but very few provide the pervasive and stunningly transparent evil of Elizabeth Diane Downs. On May 19, 1983, Downs and her 3 young children, Christy, age 8, Cheryl, age 7, and Danny, age 3, were driving down a dark back road at approximately 10 p.m. Downs arrived with the kids at the emergency room of a local hospital. All 3 children had been shot. 7-year-old Cheryl was dead on arrival, with Christy and Danny still clinging to life. Incredibly, Downs herself had only a small bullet wound to her elbow. Diana Downs' story of what happened goes something like this. An unknown male flagged her down. She stopped, and the unknown man demanded her car. When she refused to give him her car, he reached into the car and shot each child in turn. Downs said she then struggled briefly with the man, who shot her arm. She was then able to get back into the car and drive her children to the hospital. While 2 of the children survived, they suffered devastating lifelong consequences. Danny was paralyzed from the waist down, and Christy suffered a very serious stroke. There were glaring problems with her story from the very start. Why would a carjacker shoot her children? How is it one child lost her life, the other 2 narrowly escaped death, and Downs caught 1 round in her elbow? Why is the single mother of 3 small children driving deserted rural roads at night, stopping and getting out of the car to speak to a stranger? And, speaking of strange, Diana Downs' behavior at the hospital and in speaking with investigators, even in the first hours right after the shootings, aroused immediate suspicion and raised red flags with police, nurses, and other hospital staff. Downs' behavior in the hospital immediately following the death of Cheryl and the critical condition of both Christy and Danny. Many noticed she showed no concern for her seriously injured children and didn't even seem affected by the death of Cheryl. Nurses and doctors noticed that she was very focused on her own wound, which was minor, and the pain she was in. Some hospital employees even described her as upbeat. However, all agreed that she did not in any way act like a grieving mother, a mother who had just lost 1 child and had 2 others clinging to life. Psychopaths tend to be extremely intelligent and cunning, right? Well, turns out psychological research doesn't seem to bear that out, although there are exceptions. Diane Downs is a perfect example of blowing the all psychopaths are super intelligent theory right out of the water. Remember, psychopaths are people, and like all people, they have the ability to make yourself look even worse. Soon released from the hospital, Diane Downs wasted no time giving interviews to local media, ostensibly to gain the assistance of the public in finding the alleged perpetrator of this heinous crime against her children. These interviews are absolutely legend in the annals of the criminal profiler community, as well as with the true crime community. During these interviews, Diane Downs came off to the general public as having none of the behaviors of a grieving mother, and that is putting it mildly. She repeated the same nonsensical story, almost never referred to her children at all, and clearly enjoyed being in front of the camera. There is one interview that really stands out among all of them. Diane Downs is being interviewed by a young local reporter, and at one point describes remembering the blood and other details of what happened to her children. At the end of this diatribe, she smiles. It is absolutely chilling to watch, and no doubt left that cub reporter scarred for life. Soon the forensic evidence caught up with her, and she was arrested and charged with the murder of her daughter Cheryl and 2 counts of attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon of Christy and Danny. Even perp walking was enjoyable for Downs, who can be seen in footage of her going to and from trial and jail absolutely radiant, as if the walk into court was a runway. It really is stunning. And there was another reason Diane Downs was radiant at trial. Incredibly, Diane appeared for her trial pregnant. Yes, you heard that right. She got pregnant sometime before trial, stating in one of her many ill-advised but incredible-to-watch interviews that she
I got pregnant because I miss Christy, and I miss Danny, and I miss Cheryl so much. I'm never going to see Cheryl on earth again. And you can't replace children, but you can replace the effect that they give you.
You can imagine how quickly the state took the baby away from her once she was born. From the irrefutable facts of the case, and the fabulously arrogant and unbelievable Diane Downs must have come off to a jury, it should come as no surprise that they came back with a guilty verdict faster than it takes most people to find a comfortable chair. Downs was sentenced to life in prison, plus 50 years on all counts. But even life in prison wasn't the end of Downs' abhorrent behavior. Only a few years into her prison sentence, Diane Downs actually managed to escape prison, resulting in a 14-state manhunt. She was found a couple of weeks later, get this, in the home of the husband of her cellmate in prison. Wow. That idiot move added another 5 years to her sentence. Not that it mattered. Diane Downs' 2010 and 2020 parole board hearings only serve to highlight the fact that even after 40 years in a maximum security lockup, true psychopaths don't change. Those hearings highlighted the fact that Downs still shows no remorse for taking her child's life and brutally injuring her other 2 children, and thinks only of herself. Oh, and just so you sleep a little better at night, Downs is now well past childbearing age, and both parole requests were denied. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe for more Bad Things videos, and let us know in the comments what other scary maniacs you might want to see in future videos.